guys, and welcome back to another setup video. That intro just sounds so cliche, but I really do love everyone who comes back to the channel, and I do truly appreciate each and every one of you guys. So this artwork is for Freya's cats, and I will tell you that it gave me quite a bit of trouble. I think that part of it was me putting a lot of pressure on myself because June's artwork, Thor's Goats, turned out way better than I'd hoped. So there was a lot to live up to, even though I was living up to myself, if that makes sense. Another thing about this one is that the sticker paper I use isn't very good, but it also has a coating on it that helps with color vibrancy. Now, sometimes it's good and sometimes it's not so good. It made the artwork for this month look way more blue than I wanted it to, so I reprinted this on normal printer paper, like the cheap kind that you get at Walmart, and I used a glue stick to attach the artwork, but I'm going to use the sticker paper for everything else because I really like the vibrancy of the orange that the sticker paper gave this. And then I realized I needed to go back and pick out the Crayola Super Tip markers for this month using my little cheat sheet that I taped into the back of my notebook. And I do have all of my Crayola Super Tips labeled so that I can easily find what color I'm looking for. And now that I have those markers, I can get on with my cover page and a little bit more information on Freya's cats. So, the cats of Freya are not often mentioned in mythology and are not given names. These two male cats are tasked with pulling Freya's chariot as she goes about her duties. Blue-gray in color, they would stand out from their snowy surroundings while Freya is offering advice to young lovers or collecting her half of the fallen on the battlefield. With Christianity's rise in Scandinavia, Freya was demonized for her use of magic, and it is this in conjunction with her two cats that helped build the modern image of a witch with a black cat familiar. I thought that this was really freaking cool, and I just want to thank one of my best friends because he's actually the one that goes and reads all of the original source material to get me these blurbs, and he's absolutely amazing. So this is the July title page, and we're going to move right along to our calendar spread. Nothing here has really changed. The only thing that's different is that the squares are 6 high instead of 7, because it has a 1 day on a Monday, so I needed 6 rows here instead of 5. And of course I'm going to use a gray fine liner to gray out the days that are either in June or August, just to differentiate it from the days that are actually in July. So this makes this next page my month in review spread. For those of you who aren't new to the channel, you know what this spread does and why I have it. This is not a habit tracker, so don't freak out when you see all these columns. These are just things that I want to try and keep track of because they contribute to my mental health. For me personally, from left to right, this spread helps me keep track of when and how I wake up, my morning routine, some health things like my water intake, artistic pursuits, and then career things that I want to make a note of. Then on the right hand side of the page, I track my mood, my nighttime routine, and then how I'm sleeping. So if I spend 4 hours tossing and turning, which does happen every once in a while, I like to make a note of it so that I can try and find patterns. Sleep for me has always been really difficult just because I don't sleep easily, and then I really have a really hard time keeping a sleep schedule, so that is something important to me that I like to make note of. I highlighted the weekend in a different color so that it helps me see and navigate the spread in terms of weeks. I find that it is easier to find patterns that way as well. And I'm actually not going to fill out the headers for this right now for each column because I had a pretty big job interview last week, and I think I'll get an answer one way or another by the end of the month. So that answer might change what these columns are titled. So I'm not going to do that on camera, but I did want to set it up so you guys can see it. And then of course I have the title for this page, and then it's done. Now I am skipping my health spread just because I haven't been using it, and I also noticed when I started July that I'm actually on page 120 in this notebook out of 218. So I cut out the health spread just because I haven't been using it, and I have no time or energy to go work out and be healthy in a meaningful way. Again, that might change depending on the coming months, and I will definitely have to take some time and do some math and figure out if I can afford to have those pages in here, just because this notebook is supposed to last me through the year. So I'll have to do the math and do some calculations and figure it out, but we will see. So since I skipped the health spread, I'm going straight into my weeklies. Again, nothing here is really changing. I have 3 columns that are 8 squares wide, and then the weekends stacked on top of each other on the far right. I have space here for a gratitude log, a running task list, and then a main focus. I didn't box in the running task list like I normally do. I kind of liked it just open like that, but we will see. I might not like it by the end of the month, and if I don't keep it that way, you guys will know one way or the other. But while I'm doing my weeklies, I just wanted to take a minute to talk about June. I was so much busier than I thought I was going to be, and a lot of it wasn't like big stuff, but it was very last minute. Like my little brother just announced like 2 days ago that he was going to come home for the weekend, and he's on his college campus right now doing stuff for his internship, so we haven't seen him in months. But whenever he comes home, I try and make him some good food, which takes a lot of prep time, especially when it's last minute because I have to make a special grocery run, but we do always try and make it work. And another thing about June is that I had some job stuff that may or may not pan out, but I got a lot of response this past week for several different things that I was considering, so we will see. I'm crossing my fingers hoping that something will work, but you never know. Anyways, that's about it for this video. Definitely wish me luck, and I would love to hear what you guys think of the artwork for this month in the comments. I'm still kind of on the fence. I might come back and revisit this artwork at some point in time, maybe before I come out with the bookmarks for this series. I guess I will sit on it for the month and then come back to it with some fresh eyes. I hope you liked the video. I hope it was informative, and I hope your July is better than your June. I'll see you guys next time, and I hope you stay creative.